Alright, we also have a transition goal for Lester. Present level of academic achievement and functional performance. Work samples, the Alabama High School grad exam practice test, and the Woodcock-Johnson III test of achievement indicate that Lester is below average in solving basic reading comprehension, and basic writing skills. He also has major weaknesses in reading grade level passages orally, and fluency and comprehension. Lester has difficulty communicating with his teachers and peers, and how his disability affects homework completion and completing classroom assignments in a timely manner. Lester needs to work on communicating his frustrations or problems to his classroom teachers. As far as a measurable goal for Lester to meet that need, given collaborative guidance, Lester will demonstrate personal management by explaining his disability, how it affects his schoolwork, as well as ways professionals can help, to 3 teachers or paraprofessionals upon request by the conclusion of the 2014-2015 year. So he's going to talk about how his disability affects him and ways in which professionals can help him out 3 times this next year. The type of evaluation for that is data collection. He also has a behavior management goal, and we'll talk about the behavior intervention, the BIP here real quick. His behavior support plan. It says behavior impeding learning. The student was off task during testing. The student refused to follow instructions or make eye contact with the teacher during class. This is during some observations in Ms. Horton's English classroom that we had this year. It impedes learning because the student can't follow the instructions for the assignment. The student completes work by guessing. Lester didn't use his time wisely and just wound up guessing on the test at the end to finish on time. Team estimate of need for behavior support plan, moderate, it's not severe. Current frequency, intensity, duration of behavior. The non-compliant behavior and inattentiveness lasted for the duration of the class. The behavior occurs in large class settings where the student is asked to interact with the entire class. Any current predictors for behavior. The behaviors were exhibited during testing or in class when the student was required to speak and answer in front of the class. IEP team believes occurs because the student attempts to withdraw from class participation when he is under stress and in a situation when the entire class's focus is on him. This is a mechanism that the student uses to avoid emphasis on his learning deficits. It just makes sense. He doesn't want to be embarrassed by his disability. Most kids don't. What the team believes the student should do instead of problem behavior. The student needs to be able to inform the teacher when he is feeling fear and anxiety about being called on from the class. The student needs to be able to participate in appropriate social interactions with the class, and the student needs to complete his assignments with a computer. What supports the student from using problem behavior? The student's disability is not emphasized to the class. The student does not have to participate in curriculum that he has difficulty with. As far as behavior goals, the student will actively participate in small group and large group discussions. The student will also minimize off tasks during testing. To achieve his outcome, both teaching with new alternatives, behavior, and reinforcement is needed. Yes. To achieve the outcome, reinforcement, alternative behavior alone is emphasized. No. To achieve the outcome, environmental supports or changes are needed? No. Are curriculum accommodations necessary? No. Is there a curriculum accommodation plan? No. BSP to be coordinated with other agency services plans? Yes. Person responsible as a special ed teacher. Teaching strategies necessary. The student will be placed in small group settings for class assignments. The student will receive social skill instruction to increase communication skills. That's from the special ed teacher once a week. Environmental structure and sports. The student will be able to use a computer to complete writing assignments. The student will be given additional time on testing. That's from the general ed teacher. And the general ed teacher will monitor that. Reinforcement. The student will receive support to complete presentation for the class during the use of technology. That's PowerPoint, Movie Maker, video, whatever he can. That's the general ed special ed teacher. That's going to be once every 9 weeks. Reactive strategy to deploy debriefing procedures. The student will be asked to write a short essay, that's about a half a page, explaining how staying on task and participating in discussion is beneficial for him. And that's for the general ed special ed teachers. communication provisions. The students will communicate the level of anxiety and fear that he feels. The student will complete a feelings journal to keep track of progress. That's between Lester and the special ed teacher, and that's going to be daily. As far as back to the IEP, the behavior management goal, this is the present level of academic achievement. Work samples and classroom observations show that Lester exhibits non-compliant behaviors when instructed to communicate in large class settings. Lester has deficits in reading, writing, and reading comprehension, and withdrawals in an attempt to de-emphasize his disability. Lester has some difficulty staying on task during testing. Lester works best in small group settings and with access to a computer for completing assignments. His measurable annual goal, given 4 writing assessments per week and a small group setting, Lester will actively participate in group discussions for 3 out of the 4 assignments. Lester will be off task during tests for no more than 10 minutes for the duration of the class period. We're going to observe that by data collection, teacher observations, and work samples. Let's see. Special education and related services. As far as special education, one service he will receive is strategic learning class to help him keep up with his assignments, work on organizational skills and development transition skills and interventions. That's going to be daily for 50 minutes for the whole year. It's going to be in his resource room. The special ed case manager will collaborate with classroom teachers to provide appropriate instruction, review for tests, and provide accommodations from the IEP. The case manager will monitor grades, behavior, and attendance and address any concerns. That's going to be daily, all day long for all the classes for the whole year. Supplementary aids services, tests read aloud, study guides, copies of teacher peer notes, keeping a calendar of assignments to remind them of due dates. May come to resource room for assistance, repeat review instructions. That's daily for 50 minutes throughout the year. Program modifications, there's none any needed. As far as accommodations for assessments, his tests will be read aloud, like we said a while ago. That will be daily for the duration of the class in the classroom. Support for personnel is not needed, and that's pretty much it. Just need to keep in mind that this is a draft. This is a working draft, so if there's any concerns, Mr. Lucer, or teachers, just let me know, and we'll talk about it and amend the draft. Also, you have been given a copy of your special ed rights. Make sure you carry that home. That will help you if you have any questions or anything else. If anybody else doesn't have anything else to add, we'll sign the draft and we'll go from there. Thank you.